All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's Neureal Community Livestream. My name is Kyler Anderson. I am the community manager for the Neureal project. I've been doing this since January this year. What a crazy year it's been. So, as we promised, today we have massive updates. There is so much going on behind the scenes. We are finally pressing forward and getting a bunch of stuff done. I know that we've been hung up for a little while, guys, and I'm really sorry for that. But we've been hung up because we've been trying to get like 30 things done all at the same time, and now a bunch of them are actually getting done. So it's exciting. Let's start by saying I'm alone for right now. Will's hopefully going to be here soon. I haven't got any word from Jen. I think that the time shift that we did to try and allow more of you to be able to participate ended up causing some of our team to forget because this is the first week that we're doing it. So as we go on, this should be an easier time. For all of us. If you're out there in the crowd, say hello. Hi guys, it's good to see you. I see that there's 3 of you out there right now. Well, hello, nice. Uh-oh. Something is not right. All right. Hello, everybody. Okay, cool. There's just actually a really big delay. So anyhow, thank you guys so much for being here. Let's get into the big updates. The very first thing is if you have gone to the Neureal GitHub, you should have seen by now or if you've been in the Neureal Telegram, the main Neureal Telegram, you should have seen by now. Hey, good to see you, JD. Good timing. Yeah, I like this timing too. If you've gone to the Neureal GitHub, you should have seen by now that we have posted the code for our token code. It's a test for the token code to make sure that it's going to be good before we move forward with it. There are still a few pieces that need to be put into place. We're still working out the KYC bits. However, guys, this is the token code, and it's open for bounty. It's open for bug bounty, meaning that if you know somebody who's a programmer, if you yourself are a programmer, get looking through that code. It's pretty simple code. Just try and help us make sure that it's free of bugs. And if you find any bugs, you will be rewarded. So yeah, head on over there, get digging. We are just we're getting so close. It's fantastic. We had a bit of a problem with the foundation paperwork. Let me go ahead and give you guys some updates about what happened there. It got sent off. It got lost, not lost, but rather we couldn't track it past when it left America because of how we sent it. And unfortunately, we think that a lot of that paperwork got held up. And to be clear, our attorneys already had this paperwork. What they needed, and they didn't tell us before we sent it the first time, is that they needed it to be notarized. They needed the signatures to be notarized. So we went out and got that done and then resent them another copy. And then because we couldn't track this last one and it's been taking a little while, we actually went out and sent another copy overnight a couple of days ago. So as soon as that is in, we should get our foundation paperwork back within just a few days, and then we should be a-okay golden to actually start sales. And that's the next point of update. I'm going to pause and let you guys ask any questions you have so far. It's so good to see some of you guys here. Shadow, are you here today, buddy? Shadow's always here, but we might have thrown him off by this new watch time. If you're here and you haven't done so already, give us a like, give us a subscribe, hit the little bell icon. That way you're going to be notified when I post up these streams and other content. So, yeah. All right. Any questions? I'll give it a few. As far as how stuff's been going behind the scenes, things have been going well. There's obviously some things we're stressed about. It's a bear market, guys. I think everybody is worried about the funds coming down, and it's hard to try and raise in a bear market and all kinds of stuff. But you know what? It's crypto. At the end of the day, it goes up, it goes down, and we need to be a lot more focused on our product and our project and our community. And so that's what we're going to be doing here very shortly. We're going to be changing up the sale a little bit. Give me just a minute. Okay, so one of our advisors was talking, but I was hoping they were saying, "Hey, I want to jump in," but no, it's still just me. So let's talk about. I'm actually going to go through and read through some of these changes that we proposed the other night, just to make sure that I get them correct. And the changes largely have to do with the pre-sale portion of the token generation event. So um, here's. I think you're going to like this, first of all. Like, in case you guys are stressed, don't be stressed. I think this is a very exciting and a very good thing. It's something we've all been thinking about quite a lot. Like, in fact, these are all things that Will, Jen, and I had all thought about and were really considering individually. And just within the last couple of days, we've come to each other and started actually talking about how we think this would affect us and why we think these are good ideas. So, moving forward. We had planned to do a foundation sale, and let me explain that. So the foundation has roughly 10% of the overall token supply once it's finally released. That's for maintaining the final code, continuing to hire programmers and maintainers, all kinds of stuff. Also, and very specifically, it's also really specifically about making sure that underprivileged people have equal access to this the Neureal network, and that they have equal opportunities to try and make these things work. So stuff like the hurricane prediction model, if that ends up needing outside funding that we can't find, which honestly, the hurricane prediction model, we should be fine with outside funding. But just as an example, let's say that nobody wanted to pay for it at first. The Neureal Foundation would then put up tokens in order to fund that short term until its value was proven, and then we could find people to buy it. There's all kinds of stuff that's going to be done with those tokens, but the plan was to sell a very small portion of those before the pre-sale in order to help fund some marketing efforts, in order to help fund some influencers. We have some influencers that have approached us that are obviously more than willing to help raise funds for a project like this, but they're not willing to work for free. And so we need to be able to have some like and in-kind stuff to be able to give them when they do net us very large investors and the like. There's all kinds of reasons that we needed that a little bit of money up front, and part of it has to do with the steadily decreasing price of Ethereum. Um, but the foundation sale was kind of confusing for a lot of people. It added an extra step, and it just kind of didn't. It was going to be very hard. We were going to have to code an entirely different token to do an entirely different sale. And because of some other things we've been thinking, we realized that we don't need to do a foundation sale at all. So we're scrapping the foundation sale. We're no longer going to be selling foundation tokens up front. So instead, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be changing the pre-sale portion. And I want to be clear, all of this is being reflected in the documentation. The only thing that has yet to be updated so far is the white paper. That's because we have a few minor details that we're trying to figure out. You can go through and read that as soon as we're done here, but let me explain it first. So, as you guys know, our token generation event is split up into a public, or a pre-sale, which is a not private, but it's a restricted sort of pre-sale, right? And then a public, which is pretty much unrestricted except for just a couple of countries that aren't allowed to participate. So now what we're going, and the previous plan had been that the pre-sale was going to be roughly a 10-day period, and it was going to be very quick. We were going to try and pre-book that so that essentially we get the entire 4.9 mil that we need in order to fund the project through the pre-sale. And that was going to have a Kickstarter thing to it, where if we didn't raise the 4.9 mil, we didn't go on to the public portion of the token generation event. A lot of this is changing. Okay, so first of all, the pre-sale is no longer going to be a very short 10-day period. We are also no longer, we're going to be doing a little bit of preloading of it, but for the most part, what we're actually just going to do is allow ourselves more flexibility as a project. We're getting rid of the Kickstarter portion of this for a lot of reasons, guys. The first reason is that it makes it so if we don't make this exact 10-day window, if there's all kinds of other outside influences that are happening, if there's a really bad bear market, if there's, you know what I mean? There's all kinds of stuff that could really affect us during that little 10-day window, and it really tied us to the risks did not outweigh, or the risks outweighed the benefits for the Kickstarter model. And ultimately, the crazy thing about it is that if we hadn't funded it, that would have kind of been it. Whereas it's not, because a lot of us are going to keep working on the project anyways, as much as we can. And so then we could still raise money down the line, right? But according to the initial token generation event, or the initial idea, we couldn't go back and try and raise more money down the line. We would be stuck with just what we made in the first beginning. So we're going to be switching it up. The pre-sale is now going to be more of a slow roll sort of deployment. We're also lowering the barrier for entry to the pre-sale. So here's how this is going to work, guys. We still have a minimum of 4.9 mil that we need in order to fund our project in order to make Neureal deployable. That in and of itself, strangely, if you guys have ever been around startups, you should know that that's a made up figure. It's something that we've done a lot of research and a lot of time and effort into estimating how much it was going to cost us, and then we went with the standard basic wisdom, which is to figure out what you think it's going to cost you and then double it. And so that's how we arrived at our 4.9 million number. We still need that in order to make the project work. However, we don't need that in order to make the project work for the first year, blah, 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 in order to give us a leg up to be able to move on to funding. Now, part of the reason that we had been using the foundation sale before is that the way that the pre-sale worked in the past, the pre-sale and the public sale of the token generation event, every single one of those tokens, as soon as they were raised, they were immediately locked until the absolute end of the token generation event, which meant that that's why we wanted to get it done quickly, is because we've been bootstrapping this for 5 years, or four and a half ish. We really needed to get funds injected. However, we realized something. If we write into the pre-sale that we are able to use up to a small amount of that pre-sale money in order to immediately, in order to drive the token generation, or the public sale of the token generation event, in order to continue the project through until that first voting period. Because remember, it's not just the end of the first token generation event, it's also the end of the first period in which we say, hey, we're going to give ourselves our first allocation, and then you guys get the opportunity to vote no confidence, even that first time right after you gave us the money. So that would be a very long period, and we would have probably had to have let some team members go. We would have had to we've had to do some really uncomfortable stuff. So hey, Will Bowen's here. Welcome, Will. Good to see you. I am in the middle of talking about some changes. We got about 4 people watching us. Hi, guys. Good to see you. Thanks for adding. Will, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, and then I'll get back to talking about what we've updated.
Will Bound, founder of Neureal.
Yep. Give him a good wave. Yeah, there you go. All right. So, cool. We've gone through most of it. I'm just reading through it point by point what you and I talked about and making sure that I cover all of it. Let's see. You tell you what, though, why don't we take a break real quick, because I'm hoping that you guys in the audience are going to have some questions for me over what we've gone over so far. So I'm going to stop and take a break. And we're gonna talk to Will about the code that he's posted to GitHub that I mentioned at the very top of the show. So.
Yeah. Right now?
Yeah, go ahead. Let's talk about it, man.
So we need some look at. I spent a lot of time trying to figure out see if there's any bugs in it or whatever, make sure it's secure. But we could use some help with that. So there's bug bounties, plus we need more testing code. So I wrote some testing code, but if you have any experience writing testing code with Truffle,
or if you have any friends out there who do,
yeah,
wrangle them.
So I mean, I'm pretty confident in what it is and there, but it's always better to have more tests. I've ran it through a whole bunch of different systems and sites and checkers and all sorts of things. So it's I've done my best at it. So I mean, I could spend more time writing more test code, but
we have other stuff for you to do.
That'd be awesome. So the last part, the only thing to finish now is the KYC, KYC check website and site and everything. That's all I've got left really before we can start our TGE. So that's what you've been talking about, right?
Yeah, absolutely. The changes to the TGE, absolutely. Sorry, we've also got an advisor who's popping and talking. We might as well just invite him. Say like, hey, Chris, just get on the call and come talk to us. Hello from Kyrgyzstan. Hey, Martin, good to see you. Martin Bames, nice to meet you, sir. Thanks for being on, guys. We're gonna see if one of our advisors, Chris Snook, wants to join us because he's chatting it up and he's distracting us. And we might as well just get in here and talk to us.
Who are you talking about?
Snook.
Oh yeah.
All right, guys. So, does anybody have any questions about the stuff we've covered for the token generation event changes, or the pre-sale token generation event changes thus far? Hold on. Yes, it's now. I'm gonna drop him a link, and then hopefully he'll join us. All right, cool. So now that we got that taken care of, and we don't see any questions except for our fantastic audience. You guys are amazing. You know that? I'm really glad you're here. I'm really glad that we changed this so that we can get more participants. I really wanted to see more of our European group. Guys, just so you're aware, as we say every week, we would love to have you guys actually join us and come be a part of the conversation. Come talk to us. Come actually engage with us. You don't even have to have your camera on. We even have dial-in options if you prefer to do that and don't want to have your face shown. We want you to come be a part of this, guys. This is AI for everyone. That is the entire point of it, is decentralizing AI, specifically our predictive AI, and making it available for everyone so that everyone has control over what it does, right? Individually by inputting what you want it to do. Okay, and so it needs to be driven by a whole community, and that includes you guys coming and talking to us and letting us know about what you think about the direction we're going, changes we could make, anything, guys. We're here for you, so come be a part of it. All right, we don't seem to have any questions so far, so let me figure out exactly where I was at. Oh, perfect. So we're going to change the requirements for participation in the token generation, or for the pre-sale portion of the token generation event. And here's how that's going to go down. This is one of the few things that I think that we have not decided, and it's not set in stone. We haven't actually updated this yet because we need to do a little bit of thinking, but we're pretty sure that we're going to lower it from $100,000 minimum buy-in for participation to $10,000 minimum buy-in for participation. Was there anything apart from that for the qualifications that we were changing, Will? Still no non-accredited U.S. investors, still no. You still have to pass KYC AML.
Yeah, there's nothing else changed. That's right.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, essentially we just want to make it more open for more people to be able to participate, so that it's not just entirely fat cats.
You talked about the time change.
I did. I said, and also the other portion of that I don't think I mentioned, guys, the slow rolling deployment. We when I said that we want to give ourselves more flexibility, we are going to have control over when the presale ends. It'll end if we raise the entire 4.9 mil. That'll immediately end it. But this gives us flexibility, and that's why we're taking off the Kickstarter portion of it, because this allows us to say, hey, we're getting all kinds of buy interest from people who are significantly under the line, but there's a whole lot of them, right? And they really want in, and we're not really getting so many of these larger buy options. So by doing it this way, this allows us the flexibility to be able to say, hey, well, why don't we end the pre-sale now? We've got a couple, like we've got 2 million or whatever. Let's just go ahead and start the token generation event now, because I think we can pull out the rest of what we need through there, right? Is there anything else you want to update on that portion of it, Will? Okay. Chris, it's good to see you, man. How are you feeling? Oh, you're muted, buddy. I can't hear you at all. I can just see your beautiful beard. Yeah, full mute. I can't. It even shows a little mute button too. I think you got. There it is.
There you go. Sorry about that. I was out in the middle of my backyard. Totally lost track of time as usual.
Cool. Thought you were camping.
That's my backyard.
How you feeling, bud?
Oh, I felt better, but hey, surgery's not long,
Ew.
so it'll either be better or not soon.
Well, hey, yeah. So, just to be real clear, Chris has got some potential buyers on the hook, which is great. Everybody should give him a big round of digital applause because we're excited about that.
Yeah.
What Chris probably doesn't know yet because he wasn't listening to the first portion of of the call is that we've significantly changed. Well, not significantly. We've made some big changes to the pre-sale, and part of that is that we're not going to do the foundation sale. We're just going to go straight into the pre-sale, and we're not going to limit it to 10 days. We're going to allow ourselves the ability to end it when we want to end it, and we're also going to get rid of the Kickstarter thing that we had where we had to raise 4.9 mil through the pre-sale, or else we wouldn't move into the token generation event. What that means is that, oh, and we've also lowered the barrier to entry, like I just said. So um, it opens up for a lot more people to be able to participate. And so that should be starting very shortly here. One of the things that I updated the community on, and you probably don't know this either, so I'm just going to go over it again because I know that we only had one viewer on at the time. One of the things that's majorly holding us up, or has been majorly holding us up, is that we sent paperwork to, okay, again, we got our foundation paperwork turned into Antigua, to our Antiguan attorney, to our St. Kitts Nevis attorney. They sent us back a note saying that it needed to be notarized. So we sent it off again. The way that we sent it off didn't allow us to track it after it left the United States, and they haven't received it yet. So a couple of days ago, we sent it off again overnight. It should be there any day now. Once they get that, they should be able to immediately move forward. We get our paperwork back, and then we can file with New York, which will take us like a day or two. And then once that filing's made, we can then begin the sale 10 days after the filing. And to be clear, I think we'll be filing for those of you out there, we'll be filing the Reg S at the same time as the Reg D. Even though the Reg S doesn't need the 10 days, we'll be waiting for the international until the 10 days in New York has passed. So, yeah, lots and lots and lots of updates. Plus, you definitely didn't see this, Chris. Will posted code to the GitHub.
Nice.
The token code is ready to be picked over by bug scavengers.
Okay.
Yeah, we got bug bounties up and on offer. So if you got guys that are ready to mince through that, I'll also. This is to anybody. If you guys bring us talent, yeah, if you guys bring us talent, let me make this very clear. If you bring us someone who's talented and they help us and they give their time, we'll not only pay them, I'm willing to give you Neureal tokens for helping to add that value into our community. So let me know.
Paycheck.
Oh, Chris, we tried to set up that meeting, but you have been out of it for physical stuff. We're ready to talk to you about how much we're going to pay you. So.
Well, we'll talk about it, but I want to be about the science. You know, that's one thing about me is I like.
Oh, I know, but everybody's got to get paid. Everybody's got to get paid. We're not. Everybody has to at least get tokens. That's value for value.
Science is happening. Some exciting science is happening. Just talking to Will, and talking to Jesse and a few other people, I've really come up with some great ideas. So yeah, I'll keep those under wraps until such time it's time to divulge them. But yeah, I think I found some unique opportunities. Indeed.
Fun. All right, guys, we have been going 23 minutes now. Really, Martin, what? I will definitely answer your question. I just need you to clarify. Guys, if you have any other questions about anything we've gone over today, please let me know. We've been going for about 27 minutes now, which means we've got about 3 left until we can end it. I'd like to go on, but unfortunately, I would also very much like to let Will go back to coding. Oh,
okay, Will.
I actually do have one more update, guys. So while you're asking your questions, while you're filling me in, here's a big deal. Neither of these two know about this. I've been working on this in secret. Kind of secret. I mean, I've mentioned it, but I didn't want to say much until I finished it. It's been hard for you guys to engage with us. Let's be honest. We haven't made that easy. Part of that's been that we're a science project. We're very dry. And so it's kind of hard to emotionally connect sometimes if you don't fully understand the implications of the project, and if you don't understand some of the tech behind the project, you really can't understand some of the full implications behind the project. And so I've been working on a way to help let you guys have fun with us, and not just have fun with us, but be able to actually understand and emotionally engage with what we're doing. And I worked out something really fun and a fun way to give out some new tokens. I've got a video I'm going to be posting up to the Neureal channel later today. As soon as I get the freaking logo from Richard that I'm waiting for. Richard, I know you're watching this. Give me that logo. As soon as I have that logo, I'm going to post it up. It is a really silly video that my daughter helped me make, where we are asking for drawing submissions. I am making a very quick video. It's going to be 2.5 minutes long. It explains exactly what Neureal is and why we feel that it's important. It does this very humorously, and the background, the animation, as it were, is going to be you, the community's submitted still drawings. And for every single still drawing you guys submit, I am going to give you Neureal tokens. I have a big list of the things I want you to draw. It's very free form. It's interpretive any way you want to draw it. It's fine. The crazier, the sillier, the better. And that video should be coming out this week, because I've already recorded the audio, and I'm literally just waiting for you schmucks to finish your portion of the job. I've got a submission form to be able to do that pretty easily. And again, I'll pay you for every one of them you submit in Neureal tokens. All you have to do is get through the bounty program. Martin, I still haven't heard what you want to hear, man. What's really? I want to answer your question.
Which Martin is it?
Martin Bames from Kyrgyzstan.
Oh, yeah, so he's one of those people. Like, he actually brought the only developer who has.
Oh, yes, Martin. That's what you were asking really about. Yes,
yeah.
please get with me as soon as this is over. We definitely owe you some tokens. Those guys are fantastic. Will loves them, right? Will, talk about how much you love them.
Martin's been helping us too. Has been part of the project for a while. Hasn't really contributed anything until now, or much until now. I mean, not anything, much until now. So we were thinking. I was thinking if he can keep us connected to some really good developers like he just did, then what we should do is bring him on as an advisor as well.
Heck yeah!
For a developer. We could do that, on a certain level or whatever. So,
anyway. Yeah. Hey, Martin, get with me after this. Let's have a meeting.
Then.
He is. No, he's talking about it. He says, "Okay, you hit me up. My name is very memorable for this project, at least. On every single platform that exists, my name is I Serve the Oracle. So yeah." I'm also the main admin on the main Telegram channel, Martin. So jump in, talk to you soon. Want to get you paid. Shadow, there's a couple of other people who need to get paid a couple more tokens through the bounty program, because I'm not able to track which payouts I've made. Unfortunately. We're trying to fix that. But we do know, generally, I just know that there's like 2 or 3 people who haven't been paid. If you're out there and you're like, hey, where are my tokens? It's because I work too much. So hit me up again, bug me. They will come your way, I promise. Maybe with a little bit of extra for for your patience.
Sounds like you need an automaton to do work for you, man. You shouldn't be doing all this manually.
I have to, unfortunately. I found that out after I started chewing out. Here's the thing: our bounty team told us when they were building the site that this would all be done automatically, and that they had an automated way to do it. And then it didn't. And so I started reading into it, because I was like, maybe I could just find somebody. Maybe I can hire somebody in Indonesia to build me something that'll automatically do this, right? And then I realized, but part of the KYC of this, like the people in the bounty program, you guys are still going to have to go through AML KYC just to make sure you guys aren't money launderers. But part of us verifying that you actually did work and that we're not just throwing you tokens is making sure that you actually did the work. So I have to go through each one of your submissions and individually verify them. So like if you like something, then I have to click on it and then go look through the giant list of all the people who liked it and see if you're on it and then approve it.
Oh wow.
This
you need something to
kills my day. This kills my day. I used to be a lot more productive before the bounty program.
Well, since we design AI, let me think about that for a little bit. So, let me see what your raw data is to see if we can't like throw it through something. It sounds bad, but I think we could probably manage a way to automate part of it.
And hey, you guys out there, don't let that make you stop submitting stuff through the bounty program. I'd much rather you submit it than stop participating. We get a lot of good we get a couple, probably like 50, 60 interactions every 2 or 3 hours. And I'm really digging that. So all right, guys. I think this is about it. Will's fallen asleep on his feet. We've been going for 35 minutes now. Guys, it's been an absolute honor. It's always an honor to be able to work with the wonderful community that we're developing. We need to make a huge push, guys, and part of that huge push is going to be we need to start making some sales. So if you're out there, if you meet those qualifications and you have at least $10,000 that you want to toss into or $10,000 worth of Ethereum at current market value that you want to toss into the Neureal program, hit me up. Let me know. We'll start getting you fitted into the.
I just want to make sure that we start using the token amount instead of dollar amount.
I agree. That was late.
Around $1,000, but it's really since it's all contract based, everything is not focused around dollar amounts.
Right.
Everything is either ether amounts or token amounts. So in this case, the minimum is actually 1.5. Let's see, how much was it? 1.5 million.
Yeah, it was really late when we did that. I'm sorry, I can't remember. It's like 1.5 million tokens at pre-sale price, I think.
Yeah, that's what it is. 1.5 million.
Cool. So the minimum is roughly 1.5 million. It comes out to roughly 10,000 US dollars worth of Ethereum. Very roughly though.
That'll change throughout the sale. It'll be like at the anyway. So
you guys saw EOS. You guys know how it goes. Right? I mean, it's essentially like it's very similar to how the EOS's tokens shifted because of the price of USD and Ethereum shifting constantly. How much the tokens were worth when you were trying to buy in, it shifted. It's going to be the same thing. We could try and work out a way around that, but when we looked at all the really big problems we needed to solve, that wasn't one of the really big ones. And it would take just as much effort as some of the really other ones.
Yeah, there's too much. It hasn't really been solved really well in the industry.
Yeah, so, it's the Oracle problem, guys. Really, that's what it is.
It's the same problem.
Well, you want to center around the thing that's least volatile. So yeah, give me a moment on that as well. I've got some ideas to make that something that makes sense.
All right, guys.
Because right now, of course, the crypto market's very volatile.
Oh yeah. The Bears are. Yeah, the Bears are having a fit right now. I'm okay. You know what's funny? I just have to say this. I find myself less and less looking at CoinMarketCap.
Well, it's the valuable thing about this. I love volatile stocks, right? This is good stuff if you know how to play it.
Yeah, at first but that's what I was saying. Is at first it was like, oh, this is fun. It's a ride. I can try and play this, and I can watch how it goes, and the emotion is up and down, and it's better than Game of Thrones, and you know what I mean?
Well, that's the thing is that predictors around financial trends. Man, that lots of mathematics have been developed toward that.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. Is that I can't personally as a human try and analyze these markets anymore. And when I see people come to me and they're like, hey, I'm a person, I'm really good at trading, I'm gonna come trade for you. I'm just kind of like, I'm sorry, I worked around predictive AI too much.
I'm gonna have the computer do the Fourier series to come out with the best outcome.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah. All right, guys. Let's finish it up, guys. It's been fantastic. Thank you all so much for being here. Once again, the community live streams are now going to be on Sundays. If you need it to be changed even further, go submit your data to that live stream survey that we came up with, guys. The reason that we're here today at this time is because of your feedback from that live stream survey. There's just one more thing we need to do before we go. We need to set a word for the week, guys. What's a good word for this week?
How about artificial intelligence?
That's a long one.
How about intelligence?
Cool. I dig it. All right, guys, give me just a second. I'm going to pop that up on the screen. And we'll test my intelligence by seeing if I can spell it right. All right.
You don't need to know. You just ask Google, right?
Good point. Yeah, let me check that real quick.
That's the intelligent thing to do.
Exactly. I just delegate because I have no idea.
I was
Spelling,
right. All right, guys. So this week's word is intelligence, capital I, intelligence. Once again, capital I, intelligence. If you're joining the bounty program this week, you need this word in order to unlock the tokens that you're earning. This one right here. So with that being said, thank you all for being here. We'll see you next week. If you have any questions about the updates, engage with us on Telegram. And adieu. You guys want to say
Adieu.
bye-bye? Yeah, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.